Now, the trial date in the murder case of former Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa has been set for the 11th of April next year. The 5 suspects appeared in the High Court sitting in Palm Ridge this morning. Meyiwa was gunned down at Kelly Khumalo's house. His girlfriend at the time, this was in Katlehong in the East Rand. Let's get the latest now from our reporter covering the story, Tshegohaco Moagi, who is just outside court. Tshegohaco, so a trial date has been set, which is the 11th of April next year. But talk to us about the presence of these 5 suspects inside court. Lots of security that is moving around with them. These are clearly very dangerous people.
Indeed, Polly, good morning. And as you've mentioned, these are very dangerous people. I mean, accused number 1 is he's got other charges, previous charges of murder in the Vosloorus court. We've heard today as well, Polly, that accused number 5 has been convicted also of another crime, but we have not been told as to what the crime actually is. But he's been convicted of a crime and he'll be sentenced in December. So their case will then take place on the 11th of April, from the 11th to the 29th of April, which means there'll be about 12 court days. After that will be from the 30th of May to the 17th of June. And the state saying that they have agreed on these dates with the defense as to when this should then take place. As you've mentioned, a really heavy police presence here with these suspects. We are not just seeing SAPS, but we are seeing other security from the correctional services who are accompanying these suspects here in court today. We've just taken a brief adjournment, and of course the discussions are currently underway between the state and the defense according to what the next step will then be. But they have said that there are about 9 witnesses that will be appearing for this trial come the 11th of April.
You're talking about 9 witnesses, Tshegohaco, and the heavy security presence there may perhaps also signal the importance of protecting the witnesses. I want to ask you the question, or perhaps this is a question that you may have to put to those who are prosecuting this case. The accused number 5, you've mentioned that they have been convicted. In fact, that conviction happened just last week. His name is Tshegohaco Moagi, and he was convicted of the murder of an ANC councillor in KZN. And during the course of the trial at Tshegohaco, what happened is that he would be granted bail, and the understanding is that he went about eliminating the witnesses. So that talks to just how important it's going to be for these 9 witnesses to at least receive some protection from the authorities.
Indeed, some protection definitely will be needed to these 9 witnesses that the state intends on calling, Oli. And this is, of course, something that we would definitely be asking not just the prosecutor, but also AfriForum, who's representing the Meyiwa family. I'm sure that they also just want to get to the bottom of this issue. So we'll also be posing that question about possible protection that will then be given to these witnesses. As you've mentioned, accused number 5 expected to be sentenced only in December for this murder conviction that he's now been convicted of. And his lawyer really just saying that they're requesting that he's moved from the one prison back to the other where initially he was kept, saying that he's left all his belongings there, and they are requesting that he's then moved back to the prison where initially he was. And with that, they've also said that the trial will then, as it starts in April, it will then be held in Pretoria. Main concerns, of course, with COVID, the issue of space is also a concern here, not just for the prosecutor, but also for the magistrate who's presiding over this case today.
Tshegohaco, perhaps just finally, as I let you go, let's talk a little bit about the Meyiwa family. Any representatives there as the trial date is being set? They are the one family that has suffered greatly as a result of the delay in finally seeing justice being done.
There is no representative here, Xoli, of the Meyiwa family. We understand from AfriForum's Gerrie Nel that they are here to represent the Meyiwa family, of course, but also just to obviously then pass the message on to the family about what the plan is and how things will then unfold, and how things have unfolded in this court and how they will unfold going forward with this particular trial. So the family is not here, but they are represented by AfriForum's Gerrie Nel.
They have any legal representatives? Do they have lawyers? Last year there was a lot of drama with them saying they have nothing to do with this crime. They're being framed, and as a result they're actually going to be representing themselves. Are they represented by lawyers?
They are represented by lawyers, Xoli. Each accused has got their own representative from what we have seen in court today, and each lawyer really just standing up to say that this is the agreement that they have had, of course, with the state around the dates of the trial as to when trial should start. So each accused has been represented today by a lawyer. As you mentioned, we do know that they are adamant that they had nothing to do with this killing of Senzo Meyiwa. But of course the witnesses and the trial, really, when it gets underway, everything will be revealed as to what exactly took place on that fateful day on the 26th of October, just 7 years ago.
Tshegohaco Moagi, thank you very much for that update.